Welcome to the next lesson, working with influencers to launch products and drive sales. In this lesson, we're going to cover what are influencers, the benefits of working with influencers, and how to find relevant influencers. So an influencer is someone who has the power to affect a purchase decision of others because of their authority or relationship with their audience. Influencer marketing is a form of social media marketing with the goal of leveraging someone's relationship with their audience to drive action towards your brand. And there are influencers on every major social media platform. The most common are Instagram, YouTube, and bloggers. When working with an influencer, they will talk about your product on their platform, for example, in a video on YouTube or in a story or post on Instagram, and promote it to their audience with an offer. A percentage of their audience will then take action towards the offer, and you typically pay the influencer a fee to talk about your product. So when working with an influencer, there are many benefits. It quickly builds trust with a relevant audience of potential customers. It improves your brand awareness and credibility when shoppers are searching your brand online, and it effectively reaches your target audience similar to advertising, with the added bonus of piggybacking off the existing relationship the influencer has with their audience. Think of it like modern day word of mouth marketing. And as we move forward into the future, it gives your brand access to millennials and Generation Z consumers that pay more attention to social influencers than they do advertising online. A major benefit of working with influencers is that influencers set trends. And if you work with the right influencer, it can make your product very popular. It doesn't have to be expensive, although there are costs involved. And it's not a pushy way of selling, which allows for a more authentic brand voice. It helps your website's visibility in Google, especially when including a link to your website. And it beats advertising blindness. So after a while, you have to continually swap out your Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, because your audience get used to seeing them and don't take as much notice. And probably one of the most impactful benefits, it can improve your conversion rates on Amazon, giving you much better keyword ranking and visibility in organic searches. Not only from the sales being driven from the influencer's audience, but when Amazon shoppers are checking your brand out online, they see all of these influencers talking about your brand, it just reaffirms that purchasing decision. So when it comes to finding influencers, you first need to determine your target platform. Are your customers spending more time on Instagram than YouTube, or are they reading blogs? And then start searching for relevant influencers that are authentic and have good engagement on their content. You need to look at likes, comments, views, and the number of followers to gauge this. And then ask yourself, are they authentic? Are they someone that you would want representing your brand? And do they align with your brand values? So there are different levels of influencers. The bigger the following, generally the lower the engagement to follow ratio. Macro or celebrity influencers are those with a very large following. Smaller influencers, considered micro or nano influencers, are easier to approach, easier to work with, and cheaper to use. For example, on Instagram, influencers with 1,000 to 10,000 followers have the best engagement per 1,000 followers. Typically, a micro-influencer is considered to be 1,000 followers to 100,000 followers. However, this is subjective and is determined by the size of the market they're in and the platform they're on. There are a number of reports available in the industry, such as this one from Markley, that demonstrates as the number of followers go up across the bottom, the percentage of likes per 1,000 goes down. So in the first graph with the blue line, you can see around the 1,000 followers mark, average like engagement is around 8%. And then as you move more towards 10,000 to 100,000, it drops to about 2.5%. In the graph on the bottom right with the red line, at the 1,000 follower mark, you can see the comment ratio is just under 6%. And as you move more towards 10,000 to 100, that drops between 0.1 and 0.2%. If you look at this data in graph format, you can see that 1,000 has an 8.03 like rate, and 10,000 to 100,000 is around 2.4% for likes. So as this image is a little difficult to read, I've broken it down into a table for you to reference. So this data is for Instagram specifically, and as you can see, below 1,000 followers, the average like rate currently is around 8%, and the average comment rate is around 0.6%. From 1,000 to 10,000 followers, it has a 4% like rate average and a 0.3% comment rate. and then 10 to 100,000. It has an average like rate of around 2.4%, but it is important to note, with this data, these are averages and they differ in every niche and market depending on the size of that market. This data is not published by Instagram and is the research company's own research data from a sample of accounts. So they may look at a cross-section of 200,000 accounts and pull this average data. These types of reports are published annually, and you will see different research companies publishing them on their websites. So when it comes to finding influencers, successful influencer marketing is driven by aligning your brand with the influencer and their relationship with their audience. Are they communicating authentically? Are they consistent with their content quality and frequency? And are they engaging with their audience and showing real care through their responses to comments? So we have a checklist when finding influencers. Step 1. When working on Instagram, use hashtags to find nano and micro influencers which have followings from 1,000 to 100,000 followers. When looking at the hashtags, type searching your main sort of area, say baking, and then look for the smaller hashtags, as this is where you're going to find the micro influencers. If you go after the really high volume hashtags, that's where all the big macro influencers will be getting visibility, and you'll struggle to find any good micro influencers to work with. So I quite like the look of this Baking Lovers, which has 22,000 posts currently. And looking at the results for that Baking Lovers hashtag, I'm looking at the 9th result here under the top posts section. So when looking at a hashtag, you'll have top posts and recent posts. You want to look through all of them, but I generally find having a look around the bottom of the top posts area produces good results. So I quite like the look of this image, which is the 9th result in the top post. So I'm going to click on that post. And it's brought up this post here by an account called the Itsy Bitsy Kitchen, based in Phoenix, Arizona. I can see that the post has had 1,400 likes, and you can see the person is really engaging their audience by telling them to DM me for a clickable link. So that's a direct message on Instagram. If I then take a look at her account, she has 39,000 followers, so definitely falls into that micro influencer range. Step 2 is to then use socialbaker.com or influencermarketinghub.com/Instagram-money-calculator to check their engagement rate and validate they are real and they haven't purchased fake followers. We only want to work with influencers that have a real engaged following of legitimate potential customers for our brand. So when using Social Baker, you can see her engagement rate is around 3%. And when using the Instagram Money Calculator from Influencer Marketing Hub, you can see the tool also determines her engagement rate to be around 2.9%. Now, the reason I've given you two tools here is they don't always work because of their request to Instagram, and you definitely want to get a cross-section across a couple of tools to get an accurate view on the account. With Social Baker, you can go much deeper into the history of the account, how frequently they're posting, how many followers they've gained this month, and get a real solid understanding for the engagement rate within that account. So if we reference our table, you can see this account has 39,000 followers, so it sits in this range of 10,000 to 100,000. And the average like rate is around 2.4%. And looking back at our results, you can see Kelsey is above average in her engagement on Instagram. So step 3 is to check their comments are authentic and engaging, and not just comments like nice post, which is a big sign they're just using automation bots to comment on their audience. And we also want to check their photos are real and look good. If they don't have any people in their photos, it's probably fake, or it's a different type of account considered a page, which we're going to talk about in a later lesson. So when looking at this post, I can see that Kelsey is definitely personally responding to comments because each comment is different and it's relevant to the comment that her follower made. So while Kelsey's definitely responding personally here, it'd be really good to see her asking questions and engaging her audience to start conversations on her posts. If you do see that on an influencer's account, it's a really good sign and shows that they really care about their audience and they're really engaging them through questioning and asking how they got on with the recipe and engaging in that conversation. Now, naturally, when you get into thousands of followers, that is a lot of work, so no judgment, but if you do see that, it's a really good sign. So step 4, we've now checked their comments and photos are good. We need to check if they actually promote products and brands by scrolling through their previous posts and looking for products, hashtags, and brands being mentioned in their posts. If they don't currently promote products but have really good content engagement, it is okay. you just might consider testing them with a shout out to get more followers first, and then start product placement in their content to test the sales impact. So when looking at Kelsey's post here, I can see that about halfway down her page, a few posts back, she had started talking about this book, Martha Stewart's Cookie Perfection. And you can see she says, "Oh my God, have you seen Martha Stewart's new book? I've already made spicy chocolate cookies and they're awesome." And then she goes on to say, "To get your own copy of Cookie Perfection, click the link in my bio. You know you need it." So this is definitely a commercial post. She's promoting a product. She's using hashtags to get visibility on that post. She's got the brand and the product in the photo. And you can see on that post, she had 419 likes on that single post promoting that book. And as a result, she will have generated sales for this book wherever that link leads from her bio. So this is a really good indication that Kelsey is used to promoting product commercially and that her audience is used to receiving those types of posts. So when planning to use influencer marketing, it's really important to be clear on your goals. There are different goals when working with influencers. So for example, brand content, such as lifestyle images for your Amazon listing and social media profiles. Brand awareness through product unboxing and product reviews. To gain followers on social media via giveaway competitions, and we'll cover that in a later lesson. Or to drive direct sales with personalized discount codes. So think about using the social media promotion tool within Amazon Seller Central. When you have created a list of target influencers, start engaging with their content via likes and quality comments. Once you've been doing that for a few days, then contact them directly using the messaging function on the target platform. For example, on Instagram, the direct message function. Keep your message concise, but be yourself. And it's really important to state specifically what you like about their content. So specifically call out a few posts they've done recently, what you liked about them, how they communicate, and then state exactly why your brand is aligned with them and why you would like to work with them. Before closing off, explain exactly how you would like to work with them. For example, you'd love to offer them a free product to review and a personalized discount code for their audience that they can also earn commission on. Some will want payment, and others, generally smaller ones, will just want the free product. Test a promotion with the influencer and make sure to track the results based on the goal you have set. So if that's direct sales, using the social media promo code within Amazon Seller Central, you know exactly how many sales came via that code. If it was an increased following on your own channel, track the increase of followers from the time the post went live over a period of time to understand the impact of that post. And if it works, keep a record and think about how you can work with that influencer throughout the year more frequently, and consider putting together an annual promotion calendar. There are platforms available to help you connect with influencers. There is no need to use these platforms until you are ready to really scale this area of your marketing strategy. And you want to test what type of influencers work for your brand and then scale it using a third-party platform to discover more influencers that are similar. So the first recommendation is FameBit, where you can list your brand, product, and a budget, and then influencers will submit proposals. You pay 0% to list your product and brand, and then pay FameBit a 10% service fee of the budget when the content is approved. So this is really good because influencers will submit a proposal, and you only pay FameBit once you've approved content that they've produced. So it's completely risk-free. Tapinfluence.com is a platform that allows you to search and discover influencers and get a full view of their content and reach. And it also has a platform that allows you to contact and manage the relationship within the tool. And that currently is $149 a month. ThisIsHey.com is another platform to search, discover, and connect with influencers. And it has a strong focus on the actual relationship. Think of it like a dating app for influencers and brands. And it's currently at $120 a month. And finally, BuzzSumo.com. This is a great tool for finding blog content that has had a lot of social engagement around a topic, and then you can just simply contact that content owner via their own website. When you have the initial commitment with an influencer, be specific on exactly what you want. What day and time do you want them to post? What hashtags do you want them to use? And be clear that you own the rights to the content produced, and follow up to remind them, as sometimes influencers aren't the most timely. It's really important to track everything so you can measure it. So keep track of who you have contacted, the link to their profile, the number of followers they have, their engagement rate, and what the offer was, all in a Google Sheet to keep yourself organized. So in this lesson we covered, influencers are a powerful way to build your brand's presence online and get more sales on Amazon. Working with micro-influencers is more effective than macro, and focus on quality, not quantity, when targeting influencers. Engage with target influencers' content before approaching them, and then contact them directly with a concise message, and make sure to relay exactly what you like about their content and why you believe they would be a great fit for your brands. And there are platforms available to help you scale this process when you find something that works and you really want to scale it. In the next lesson, you will discover using Instagram to boost traffic, sales, and reviews. I'll see you there.